Ford Mustang Mach E. Apparently, we decided to start this live drive right when a jet felt like taking off from the airport. We were just wonderful with timing. Unfortunately, nobody watches the beginning of a live drive because they're all tuning in right about now. So if you've never joined us before and want to join live next time so you can tune in about 30 to 60 seconds after we start, hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell and you can see us go live typically 4 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesdays and Fridays. Today, we've got an exciting one and we totally expect this to be fun and very easy to burn up an hour talking about because there is a lot going on with Ford's new Mustang, if you will, even though it's got 4 doors and is absolutely a crossover. So we're gonna spend the next hour or so going over everything going on with this extended range all-wheel drive Mustang Mach E. We've got Alyssa behind the camera, and after a few minutes we're gonna be checking the chat, so let us know if you're here and let us know anything you'd like to see with the Mach E. We're gonna drive it around, we're gonna talk about its speed. Alyssa and I have been driving it around a bunch, and so has Chris at the TheTopher, so we've done range testing, we've done comparisons, we've done a road trip, we've done a sound system test, we've even done 0 to 60 testing. This is our first car that we've done actual daily motor instrumented performance testing with. Got some 0 to 60 numbers, some 60 to 0, some 5 to 60 rolls. So lots of stuff to talk about. Let's just jump right on in. First of all, the looks. I actually think it looks quite good.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Rapid red is the color. And I'm actually usually a pretty big fan of kind of black and red combos. The RAV4 Prime we had also had that color combination. I think the wheels look nice. It's got kind of a slick aerodynamic look while still being, it's a little aggressive for my taste. I think this front grille area is a little like, grrr, I gotta be mean and aggressive because it's 2021. But it's handsome. You like it then, Liz?
I think this color is phenomenal. It really is like that soul crystal red that Mazda has. Yeah. And it's so sparkly. It's dirty right now for some reason.
It is actually pretty dirty, yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, it looks decent.
Yeah. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful color, and I actually love the black accents on the outside too. So
yeah, I think the black works better than doing chrome. I think chrome would have looked chintzy. Yep,
I agree with that.
Now, some people really like the rear end, and it might be a little in the shade for you all now, but I'm actually not a huge fan. They tried to make it look like the Mustang, and it resulted in my opinion, at least kind of a squished, weird Mustang hybrid crossover look. I think it works in the front, and it doesn't really work in the rear. I'm not a fan of the clear lights. Maybe it's something with this little,
the Mustang-y bit of the light?
Or like the way it kind of sticks out and then goes back in as like a ridge. I don't know, it doesn't look great in person to me, but other people have said they really like it, so that's fair. It's all a matter of opinion. Overall, I think it's a really well-styled car. And we'll get in talking more about the whole Mustang situation later on in the review. I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts on it as well. Oh, I forgot, it's not a powered liftgate.
It's not?
Oh no, it is. It just didn't feel like opening. We've definitely had some electrical weirdness with this car, which is not unfortunate because it's an electric car. So when electrical weirdness happens, you can be in a tough position. But trunk space is decent. You know, it's kind of standard compact crossover-y back here. The load floor is a little high, and somebody pointed out, my mother actually pointed out, that she doesn't like when SUVs have a lip right here, because if you're trying to slide something out, you have to lift it and then get it out. She pointed out in her Ford Edge,
an inch too.
Yeah, it's completely flat and she can slide things right in or out. So it's a little unfortunate that they went that way. Some vehicles have a like what they call a faux floor, where you can actually lift this back up. We've seen that in like the Chevy Volt and a few other vehicles. So they could have done that and remedied that situation, so a little unfortunate. But we do have our Ford mobile charger. Pop this open, and this is how you'd charge the bad boy up if you didn't have a charger at home. Yep, you got the Ford logo on there and stuff. Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of neat.
And we'll be getting to your chats in a few minutes, so
if there are any,
you just all hold tight.
Let's see who we have got.
I guess we're getting to them now.
Nice. Well, we can wait.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about more?
Seats full. There's actually a pretty decent amount of room. I was able to fit five 4Runner tires back here, but you can't lay down. So if you did want to camp, that wouldn't be happening. And that's pretty different than our Model Y. It's hard not to compare this car to our Model Y. They're very similar.
It's pretty much a direct competitor.
Right. And in the Model Y, I know I can put my head on the back of the seat and have my feet still inside the vehicle, because I was like, wow, I was surprised by how much space there was. But you know, this is still pretty good for a compact crossover. It would be nice if it were easier to fold the rear seats. Like in the Tesla, there's a little button right here, they flop down. But I mean, Liz, can you reach forward and hit that, or would you have to go around?
Let's see. Let's get everyone a kind of idea of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Do you press down?
Yep. Okay, so you could do it, and you're about 5'1", 5'2".
Yeah.
So that's about the max.
Yep.
Yep. This does come with a little cargo cover though, and I think that probably helps a little bit with noise and privacy. Yep. You can take it right off if you want. Yeah, it's probably an accessory or something. So.
Okay.
Cool.
Great.
Let's do another quick walk around, and then we'll hop into the back and get to some comments.
Cool.
So for anyone just tuning in, you get a little look at this rapid red Mustang Mach E Premium extended battery all-wheel drive. So this is about the most expensive one you can get.
This says Mach E 4X on the side.
Probably for the all-wheel drive. That's all I can think.
Okay.
Yeah, not too shabs.
It's really beautiful. The front, I kind of like. You see how they tried to do the Mustang bit, but they just kind of made it a little bit more balloony.
Yeah.
Yeah, crossover like.
Yep. It's like a Mustang got injected like collagen or something, and it just poof, or like a marshmallow. Yeah. Kind
of just blew it up a little bit.
Yeah, even though it's slower than all the other Mustangs.
Yeah, it's probably the slowest Mustang. But look at the front of it. It's this, I like how they used so much red, so much of the color in the front, instead of just going with what would have been just an entirely fake looking grill.
Yeah.
They kept it, they kept this little black mustache bit here.
It's kind of a mustache.
To kind of give it that faux grill look, like, hey, this is where it would normally go. But psych, it's an electric car.
Yeah, I think the designers did a pretty good job at kind of appeasing most people of like, well, the Tesla's kind of strange looking because there is no grille whatsoever.
Yeah, it looks weird.
And when they put a full grille on an electric vehicle, you're right, it looks stupid, like the Chevy
Why would you
Bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a happy medium.
It's a compromise.
Yeah. While we're up here, we'll mention the Frunk, which I do think is kind of silly. Liz, did I ever show you how you open the Frunk?
From inside, yeah.
Yeah. You have to reach way down and pull this just like it's a hood release, rather than just a nice little opening like some of the other EVs do.
Now you pulled it twice. Do you need to always pull it twice?
Yeah. Yep, you pull it twice to pop it. And there you go. So you open that whole entire thing, and then you get this nicely sized Frunk, and it comes with a little divider. You could put things, you know, like a gallon of milk in one part, and then some groceries or something. But you can also remove this, get a screwdriver, and kind of pop all these rivets out, and then you can have the whole open thing if you wanted.
You know what's kind of interesting? And you can tell me what these are, but these look like beer can little holders.
Yeah, I have no idea.
When you're front gating instead of tailgating.
Front gating. I like that. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It almost looks like this entire thing will come out if you force it enough.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because
it's like a whole unit.
Yeah.
What a unit. Absolute unit. It takes some heft.
Oh, we broke it.
No, just gotta. Maybe.
Guys.
Ford quality. Give it. Here, let me pop it. This happened to me once in a Mini.
I'll pop it and then
slam it. Lift it up and slam it. There you go. Just gotta have some yeah. Another weird element getting in the back here is the way you open the rear doors. You just press the button, it kind of comes open, and you pull it. Overall, I think it's a pretty slick design. The one fear I do have, and they tried to build kind of a safeguard to this, but you always teach kids don't stick your fingers in like door jambs like that, but then you have to do that to get the door open. So you see right now, if I'm pushing on it, it's actually locked. It won't slam, so that's good. But if you pulled it just a little bit and then it got slammed, you'd be screwed. So say, you know,
you're gonna lose some little kid's fingers.
Right. Say Mama Alyssa here is opening up the door and she puts her finger in to go to open it, and then all of a sudden a kid runs up and slams it closed.
You're gonna, yeah. Ouch.
So unfortunate. I don't think it was good for them to design something that you had to stick your fingers in the door.
Yeah.
But whereas in the front makes much more sense. You press this and pop it and just pull it right there. I think that's a pretty slick design.
They should just have those little finger pulls.
Yeah, why didn't they just put the finger pulls in the rear?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, let's get to the comments.
All right.
What's everybody up to?
Say hello to Yas.
Yes.
Yes. He hopes everyone's doing well.
Good. We missed him last week.
Yeah. Kryptonic says hi.
Look at how great the lighting is with the big old panoramic roof.
It actually is really nice in here.
Alyssa is nicely lit. She's lit.
Which
Hi,
trim
Kryptonic.
is this again?
This is the premium.
Premium.
Yep.
Okay.
Premium, extended range, all-wheel drive.
Great. Okay. Carry on.
You carry on.
BA says looking at SR model versus Mach E.
Good. We're going to talk about that a bunch.
Yep. Jesper Alstrup says, yes, the Mach E review. I really wanted to hear your view for this car and the Tesla Model Y. What about the ID4 coming soon for you guys?
Yeah, we've put in our request for an ID4 and it should be a few months.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's that Volkswagen electric thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Andrew's Planet says, a nice electric car, and how much is the cost?
Hey, Andrew's Planet. This one that we're sitting in is $56,000 US as built.
Okay.
Yep. They start down at like 43, but that's with your basic range, rear-wheel drive. If you start tacking on the options like this, if you want things like heated seats, heated steering wheel, extended range, it starts piling up.
What is the standard range? Do you know off the top of your head?
EPA is 230 miles for the standard range car.
Okay.
Our Tesla's 244.
Okay.
Yep.
And this has exactly how much range?
This one we're in is 270, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
270 versus 230. Is that really that big of a difference? 40 miles there?
Well, it kind of is, considering this thing's not super efficient. Like, our Tesla's much more efficient than this car. So, I don't know, if it were a second vehicle, you'd be fine with just the 230, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're thinking, why would I pay $56,000 for 40 more miles plus all the other bells and whistles?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely configure it lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that more later on as well.
Gotcha. Okay. B&A says, ouch, and nice color.
Yeah, I agree.
Andrew's Planet says, it's expensive.
Yes.
And Tim Robinson says, I think using the Mustang name was a good decision for Ford since Tesla is so popular. Ford had to use a recognizable name that would get people talking, and that is probably a very good point.
I recognize that point, but I disagree. Because everybody's talking about the Volkswagen ID4, and that's an entirely new name.
Oh.
And what else? I mean, Chevy has made the Bolt its own thing.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what other EVs are in vogue right now. I mean, Tesla created a whole flippin' brand.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't get super hung up on the principle about it, about like, oh, like, you know, they shouldn't use a Mustang name for a four-wheel drive car. I think that's not a huge deal. The problem is this doesn't feel like a Mustang when you're driving it.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, obviously they've thrown stupid powertrains in Mustangs before in the past. They've used 4 cylinders in the 80s. They have a 4-cylinder now for the base car. But even when you drive an EcoBoost 2.3 liter Mustang right now, it still feels kind of cool. You still sit down low in this coupe, and you got this, like, they still managed to make it sound decent, and there's an experience to it. Liz, I don't think you ever rode, did you ride in that bright green Mustang automatic that we had? I don't know if you did. It was late. It was right before we went to Colorado last fall.
The only green car I remember is that BMW M8.
That M8.
I do remember the green Mustang though.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was just a little 2.3 liter 4-cylinder stuff. It was still fun. It was still like, you still felt, you know, like it was the long doors. It's a whole experience when you sit by it. This car, regardless of how fast it is, I mean, it's plenty quick, but it doesn't invoke that feeling of being in a Mustang, and that's why I think the name is improper.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. So Henry Lasky says hashtag not a Mustang.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to further that point, there are other brands that have used quote unquote sacrilegious names for SUVs. For example, well, Rolls-Royce making an SUV is not a huge deal, but why am I blanking? Oh, well, like Maserati has the Levant. That's, you know, Maserati's always been a car, and then they come out with an SUV. It still feels like a Maserati. It's still true to the brand, even though it's an SUV. Why am I blanking? Oh, the Lamborghini Urus. You get in a Lamborghini Urus, which everyone screamed like bloody murder when Lamborghini decided they were going to make an SUV. It still feels like a Lamborghini. Like, it's maybe not quite as raw or exciting as an Aventador or something like that, but like, it still has the same essence and the same character, and this does not.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Understandable. So, this is probably, what would you say? This is probably one of the most competitive EVs out there. I mean, you've got the Teslas, which pretty much perfected that entire class of car.
Yeah.
What would be the next tier down in a different brand entirely?
Well, you kind of have two spheres of EVs right now. You have your luxury EVs, and you have your more commonplace, more affordable EVs. And they're both kind of growing in segments. So you've got like the Audi e-tron is luxury. You got the Jaguar I-Pace. Mercedes, I actually think, pulled the EQC from the US market. I don't know why. Maybe it's had an issue with it. And then you've got like the Tesla Model S, Model X. And then you have the more commonplace. You have the Model 3, Model Y. You've got this. You've got the Volt. You've got the new Ioniq. Sorry, Bolt. New Ioniq. And the ID4. And I still think, I mean, I haven't driven all of them, but I've driven quite a few. To summarize it, and we'll talk about this more and expand upon it, the Tesla, both the 3 and the Y, are still, they're the best electric vehicles. That doesn't mean they're the best cars. It doesn't mean they ride the best. It doesn't mean they're the best at everything. But in terms of perfecting the core components of being an electric car, no one's beating Tesla at this point. That factors in charging network. That factors in the range and efficiency and kind of how it displays the data and how you interact with it. An analogy I've used a lot with both Nathan and Alissa, the Tesla is to EVs as kind of like iPhones are to the mobile phone world. I personally don't care for iPhones. I try them every now and then. I don't care for the ecosystem, and I stick with Androids. I kind of prefer things to be a little more complicated and get to do more with them. But if I'm buying a phone for my grandmother, she's getting an iPhone. Like, nothing works easier. I mean, every charger thing is going to work. Like, you buy an Apple accessory, it's going to be the best. It's going to be the simplest and easiest to use. And that's how Tesla is to EVs. So this car rides better than our Model Y. It's quieter than our Model Y. And a lot of people think it looks better than our Model Y. But I would still rather have the Tesla because it's just a more refined and further along electric vehicle experience.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay. So then we have a question about the Nissan Leaf.
Oh, I forgot about the Leaf because it's so bad.
That's kind of where I was getting at with like, okay, what are the tiers down in the EV world? And is that really pretty much even an EV?
No, yeah, it is. The Leaf is fine. It's got comparable range and everything. It just, I don't like the way it drives. I don't like the infotainment. I don't like particularly the way it looks.
It does look a little weird. Buggy.
Yeah.
Like a Bug's Life vehicle.
And to be fair, the Leaf was one of the first ones to make it as an EV. I mean, it only had like 100 miles of range in the first few, but it was one of the better ones early on, like a decade ago. I just don't see why you'd buy a Leaf these days unless you got a killer deal. In which case, that might be the case. But if I really wanted a good deal in the electric car market right now, I would buy a Chevy Bolt right off, like the older one, like a 2017 or 2018 off lease. You can pick them up for like 13 grand with like 30,000 miles on them. If it weren't for the YouTube channel, I would have bought a Bolt rather than a Model Y.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Gotcha. The Pittsburgh Man says hello.
Hi, Pittsburgh Man.
And Henry Lasky says, driving this thing probably feels like driving an electric Ford Escape. And that's exactly what you said. Yep. Like 2 days ago. So, good job, Henry.
Smack on. Ford Escape or Ford Edge, right around there. It feels so much like that. And that's not a bad thing. That's what people are buying, compact crossovers in droves, because that's what people want. So embrace that, you know? Make it the best darn crossover you can have. Screw the whole Mustang thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Rename it.
Yeah.
They might do that.
They might, but then they have to admit they're wrong. And, you know, American automakers aren't good at that.
That's true. All right.
So let's hop up. Let's talk a little bit about the back and hop up to the front. We'll get on the road and answer more chats then. or else this is going to be a live sit.
A live sit.
Is there anything to really talk about back here? It's fairly comfortable. It's a good amount of knee room.
I think one of the things to talk about is the color combination that we have back here.
I like
it's
it.
very soothing, weirdly enough, because you do have such a dark, or a drastic contrast between the light and the dark.
A drastic contrast, would that be a drastic contrast? I had a word and then I lost it.
Okay.
Contrast.
He's trying to combine the two words. Contrast.
Drastic contrast.
In case you guys are wondering what we're talking about.
Or I'm having a stroke, one of the two. No, it's nice back here. It's comfortable. Not much of foot room. We've talked about foot room before.
I have a ton of foot room.
Well, that's because you're short. And because that seat is up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I love the panoramic sunroof. I like having the handles back here. So if you're whipping this thing, even the people in the back can hold on. Do the seats recline?
I don't think that they do.
No, they don't.
They're also not heated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas in our Tesla, all 3 seats are heated back here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is the Premier.
Yeah, it doesn't get better than this.
Doesn't get any higher.
You do have some air vents though, and USB-C and A.
That's nice.
Yep.
This is very simple.
Also no 40-20-40 fold. So, yeah, the Tesla wins in terms of outright numbers of features, but the Mustang executes a few of them better.
The screen is very weird, is what the Con 1000 says.
Yes, we're getting up to that, that's for sure. Yep.
Let's go.
Door handles, you kind of like take, you stick 2 fingers in there and kind of do a backward pulling motion, and then you usually get it to open up.
Yep.
Okay, behind the wheel.
I do have to say, I like how the driver and passenger door opens. I like that more than in the Tesla with those flat door handles that you push and it pops out. I do like that. It's just a shame they don't do it on 04.
Yeah. No, the Tesla door handles work well as long as you don't have anything in your hands and you can come up to it and just press in and pull out. But for someone who's you got something in your hand, or maybe someone who doesn't know how to use your door, which if you don't know how to use this one too, it takes a bit of a learning curve. But yeah, I do agree that this is better.
Nice opening door. That's awesome. Con 1000 says, hello, what did I miss?
Well, you missed the walk around and you missed us talking in the back, but you haven't missed any driving. Nice electronic locks. It's really a pretty pleasant ride experience. The ride quality is near the top end of the, I don't want to put it, the average car ride. So like, it's not quite luxury car smooth, but if you were to like get in a car that costs $30,000 or $40,000 and it rode like this, you'd be like, oh yeah, this feels nice. Now for $56,000, it's average.
It's up there and you're like, why?
Right, and part of that's you really feel the weight of this thing. This thing is a whole 1,000 pounds heavier than our Model Y. And I think it's about 5,000 pounds or so. If we have Maran Samandi in the chat, he can look it up for us. But this one we're driving, I think, is about $5,000, and our Tesla Model Y is like 4,000.
Yeah.
So, and you feel that when you try to throw this thing around, and you also see that in the efficiency numbers. This thing is a lot less efficient than the Model Y. Yes, I do appreciate that the sun visor goes all the way back, and there's a handle, so it passes both of my petty tests.
Petty tests, that's cute.
Yep.
What's his name has perks and features.
Yeah, Demira perks and features. I got petty test. Teddy Roosevelt.
Alright. Tim says it's important to remember Ford still qualifies for the $7,500 tax credit.
That is true.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you can get some typical Ford discounts. At what price point would you consider this over a Tesla?
It is true. If you make enough money and you don't have many other tax deductions, you can get the $7,500 tax credit. It is also true that there is a talk about a bill that's in the U.S. Congress right now to potentially bring back the tax credit for Teslas, which would be cool, and for all EVs. And yes, Ford is already throwing money on the hood of these things, so you can get some discounts. For me personally, I'd really have to do the pros and cons. I like a lot about this car. It's not, one of the things I like that's pretty intangible about the Tesla is I like how different it is. I like how minimalist inside it is. I like how the stupid little features it has and the quirks and the gimmicks, and I like being part of that community. This feels much more like you're just buying an average everyday car, and for some people that's really good. My mother pointed out she would rather have this than the Tesla. She likes her Fords, and she just if she were to go to an EV, she'd still want kind of a casual car experience. So for me, this thing would have to be really stupid cheap, and to be honest with you, I would still buy the Hyundai Ioniq 5 over this.
Yeah, you love that.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome. I think the numbers are promising. I like Hyundai build quality. I like a lot of things Hyundai's been doing. So for me, there isn't really a price point that I would buy a Mustang Mach E. So
wow.
I would recommend it to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think it's very recommendable. I like a lot about it. There's just certain cars I wouldn't buy. And I mean, you're talking about someone who'd rather spend his money on a $1,000 Chrysler Town & Country. So I mean, that's just me. There's nothing about the car.
Gotcha. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Bune says Ford is often charging more than retail on this vehicle right now, but that should change.
That's interesting, because I've heard that they're already doing rebates, but that's the other thing with Fords.
And Yas is saying that the dealers have markups on these as well.
Exactly, like dealers get to charge whatever they actually want. With a Tesla, the price you see is the price you pay. It doesn't matter where you are, all 50 states. I mean, if you're in Canada, sorry, so Pittsburgh Man would have to pay a lot more, but with Fords, you can go in, you might be able to get a better deal, or the dealer might say, no, they're really popular, we're trying to get $58,000, and then you gotta be like, ooh, dog, that's a lot of money.
Right.
You can still do that though. I wonder where Kyle's been. He hasn't been in our chats for a while. Huh.
He had a lot of health problems.
Yeah, hope he's okay.
Yeah. Oh, Forge Fantasy is asking, where do you charge these?
My house. Yeah, we've got a 240 volt charger at home because of the Tesla and this. And I will say, this thing was charging at 9.2 kilowatts at 40 amps. And even then, it still took a while. I mean, we brought it in with like 11% charge last night, and took a long time for it to charge up, but finally did. We also took a road trip yesterday and experimented with some DC fast charging at Electrify America.
Yep. So when you're not at home and you're out and about, some DC chargers, is Electrify America the only
It's just a brand. No, there's also EVgo, there's Charge Points, there are probably a few others that I don't know about.
Okay.
But yeah, just be like Shell gas station or BP gas station or whatever.
Gotcha.
Something that we experienced here in the Mach Y, the Mach E, the TOFR experience with this car, and a lot of other YouTubers have actually experienced with this car. It's finicky with how it likes to accept DC fast charging. The best we could find is that the vehicle has to be off, and then you have to get out and plug it in. And that resulted in it taking like a few more minutes for us to start our charging, which when you're talking about a charge session that's only going to be maybe 20-25 minutes, you just put an extra 20% or so on your charging session just to try to get the darn thing to work.
Also, if you're not sure that that's even going to work, the charger that you are at, that the next one is maybe 15 miles, whatever,
right,
30 miles away, you don't have the option to go to a different one,
right,
and you're already at a time crunch. That can be really quite nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
To get it to work. Or I wonder if any of those would have only 350 volts or only 150.
Oh, the 350 kilowatts?
Kilowatts, yes, my bad.
Or yeah. I don't know, and I don't know if that was the issue or if it was just or if it was the car that was the issue.
I see.
All right. Let's get some tire squeal.
There it is. Oh my god, that's amazing. It's nicely quiet.
Yeah, we measured it 4 decibels lower than our Model Y on the same highway.
Wow.
So that's pretty significant.
Okay.
It doesn't sound significant, but it is.
I think it sounds significant.
Yeah.
Okay. The Con 1000 says, put it in sport mode and watch the screen in front of you.
Yeah, it is in sport mode. It's actually called unbridled mode. I think he's talking about this screen probably. You see how right now there's like little like yellow accents and stuff? If you take it out of that and you put it in whisper.
Oh, geez.
Then you get these silly little, like, it looks like a sheet almost. Like,
I see. Like wind.
Yeah.
A sheet.
And then you go to engage and nothing happens.
Well, I'm sorry guys, because when you look at it through, it's all flashing.
Oh yeah, yeah, good old camera refresh rates.
Right.
But yeah, you typically drive it around in unbridled mode. It just, well, the only downside to unbridled mode is the steering gets really heavy. So I actually usually drive it in engage or whisper for that
What's
reason.
engage?
Middle.
Okay.
So like normal mode, if you will.
You want to feel engaged?
I guess. I'd rather be unbridled.
Gotcha. Oh. Okay. Elmer Davis says the X means extended battery.
Oh, so the 4 is all-wheel drive and the X is extended battery. Gotcha. Huh.
Yas says he loves the Ioniq 5 too, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, that's honestly, and I don't know, you know, who all of you guys that watch the live drives have watched a lot of my old videos, but we've tested all 3 versions of the Ioniq, and it's honestly one of my favorite cars. I like the Ioniq EV, I like the plug-in hybrid, I like the normal hybrid, and now that they're coming out with one that looks better and has more range, sign me up, man. That's cool.
Nice. B&A saw a $5,000 markup.
Wow.
For this. That's quite a lot.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
No one pay a markup for this car. It's fine at normal price, but anything higher than that is...
Yeah. Huh. Now, do you like the horizontal Tesla screen better or this vertical one?
I'll let you answer that first, because it's, and then I'll say.
I gotta think about it for a second, because I know what my answer is, and I want to answer why as well.
Sure.
I have to say I like the Tesla's horizontal screen better because it's not perfectly rectangular, and it's not perfectly square. So I feel like the actual surface area that they have that's right in this area is utilized better. It's more effective. I think they actually decided where your arm was going to be when you're driving and where the arm of the passenger is going to be, and they actually just put it in that general space. This is kind of interesting, and especially when you're driving and you're trying to point, your finger's going to bounce around a lot like this. So, I don't know, going all the way down here for stuff, and then all the way up here for stuff, I just feel like this is just too oblong.
I agree.
Yeah.
I prefer the horizontal screen, not even talking user interface right away, just in terms of the layout. I think when you're in a car, the way your eyes are kind of tracking back and forth, I think the horizontal layout is more effective for the type of information you want to see.
Yeah.
If you want a map and also something else or whatever, it all just looks better. It's the same reason that TVs are horizontal and not vertical. You know, a cell phone's vertical because we have to hold it in our hand. But when you're watching a video or something on a phone, you turn it sideways. It's just, we take in more information in a better way from width. Even our eyes see wider than they see tall.
Absolutely.
So this is, you can't optimize the information that you're looking at. Like, let's open the map. Navigation.
Yeah, you've got the map taking up half the screen, and the rest of it is other stuff. These, talking about, what did you call it earlier?
I don't know, like quick tiles or something? Oh,
something, whatever these are.
Yeah.
These are so ridiculously large.
Yes.
This is taking up probably 1, 2, 3, 4, about a quarter of the screen as it is, just these tiles. And I understand that.
Which you can do this, but then, I mean, so that's honestly a little bit better.
That's a little bit better, yeah. But then you have this giant knob right here that does not go.
I think mean,
this is a power button inside of this too.
There's a lot more scrolling in this system than there is in Tesla's screen. There's a lot you can get away with in Tesla with just like a tap, 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 done. This requires a lot of scrolling through menus and waiting for the screen to kind of load up.
And then when you want this to go away, it's not very streamlined and
requires big motions.
Yeah, you got to go up like that. You can't just do a quick little swipe.
Like for example, in the Tesla, when you bring up the settings screen, all your settings are right there, kind of like this. You know, you don't have to scroll for anything. But in this screen, like if you want more settings, you got to come down. Look at all these.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. When you're driving along and trying to find one of these.
Right.
In fact, you and I were looking for one. It was probably the ambient light that was all the way at the bottom.
We wanted to turn the ambient light on.
But we were like, where in the world is it?
Yeah, and it's got its own silliness. But, I mean, I guess it's really good that you had, like, the lane keep assist and the cruise control so that you can set that in your car and then mess around with the screen when you're going 70 miles an hour.
The last thing I'll say about it is it feels like they made this screen large just for the sake of being large. Like, people want a big screen. They think that's cool. Let's put it in.
Throw a big screen in there.
And I felt the same way when Ram put their super large screen in the Ram 1500. The small screen works better. It does. It takes the climate control out, and it just only has what you need in there, rather than just being large for large sake.
Yeah.
Now the Tesla screen was engineered to be the proper size for what it needed to be because everything's in there. Your windshield wipers, your cruise control, your speed is in the screen. So it had to be large. They made it that way for a useful purpose.
Right. And it's effective in what it does.
Yes. Yeah. So that's that.
Yep. Ooh, Moran's here. He says, hi, sorry I'm late.
That's okay. I wonder, what did we ask him earlier? I asked him the weight of this car.
The weight, really?
Yeah.
Jesper Alstrup said something in, I think, response to you pressing the gas so hard it like made my head go back.
Yeah.
He said, someone's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Ha.
I think that's funny. And Pittsburgh Man still wants that Cybertruck.
Dude, I would love a Cybertruck.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be sweet.
Real quick, how is the Mach's version of the Autopilot?
We've gotten a lot of time to experiment with that, and we did a test where Alissa and I both headed out and did a highway range test on this and the Model Y at the same time, and we drove them back to back. We each did half the test. I think the Tesla's Autopilot works better in terms of tracking the lanes and feeling confident and feeling like a normal driver. What the Mustang does better is you can change lanes without having to fully re-engage the Autopilot and listen to a beep every time. Every time in the Tesla that you do Autopilot, you have to double tap the thing and you hear bong bong, and then you drive along, and when you need to change lanes, you have to bong bong change lanes with Autopilot. With this, you just press it, it's silent.
Yeah. On
the flip side, this you have to touch the steering wheel every 12 to 15 seconds maximum before it starts beeping at you. Tesla, you can go almost 30 seconds. So they've each got their pros and cons. If I had to kind of rank it, I would say from like most impressive to least impressive self-driving, semi-autonomous driving features, you got Cadillac at the top with Super Cruise, although it has its downsides. Then maybe like Hyundai, Genesis, maybe Kia. I've driven some wonky Kias lately, but that's pretty good. And Volvo and Tesla kind of all around the same level. And then I'd put Ford, and then I'm probably forgetting somebody after that, but it's all just kind of a mess.
Okay.
After that.
Okay. Yep. I think that's helpful for people seeing that kind of tier.
Yeah, I want to do tier lists sometimes. You ever watch those tier list videos?
I do sometimes.
Yeah, I want to do sound system tier lists, brand tier lists, car
I think
tier
that
lists.
would be really great.
I just need to get around to doing it.
Yeah.
I've got so many videos to shoot.
Let us know if you guys like that idea.
Yeah,
of just
people have suggested it. I feel like Pittsburgh Man has suggested it or something.
Yep. Are there fake engine sounds in this?
Yeah, we'll do that here near the end, the propulsion sounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yas is wondering what you think about them.
They're kind of neat. I'm glad that they're there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't usually use them, but like.
Okay. I've never even noticed them.
We'll do it here in a second.
Okay.
Let's hop back out and take a look around.
Okay.
I should also say, if we get $10 in total donations, and I know we're kind of coming up on time here pretty soon, we get $10 in total donations, we'll put Alissa behind the wheel, let her drive. For $40 total, or just $20 in the Cash App, we will go back to the house, grab our Model Y, and we'll come out and do a drag race. It might be a roll race, depending on traffic and where Alyssa and I can find 2 lanes, but we've got some walkie-talkies, so if we see that $20 or $40 total donations, we will, yeah, we'll race them. Spoiler, we have already raced them, so I know who's faster, but Tesla's battery, I think, is lower significantly right now.
Yes, it is.
So
I had some fun with it earlier today.
Good. Yeah, you're hanging with Porsches.
I actually was.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Nice.
$5 donation if you want to hear that stuff.
So we'll get some more comments going here, let you guys see the outside.
Yep.
Yes?
Moran says in the Town and Country live drive, he had an hour-long phone call and missed it.
Ah,
so
no.
he couldn't answer some questions.
Drat.
But he bought the E500 from Arizona.
Yeah.
But he's actually from LA.
Oh. Okay.
Cool.
Neat.
Yeah, that's Moran.
Yes.
Nice interior.
It is a nice interior, I agree.
Nissan Pro Pilot Assist.
Oh, Pro Pilot Assist is okay. It's like everything Nissan does, it just doesn't feel good. Everything in Nissan's just bleh. Chris and I were joking the other day that the older the Nissan product, the better it is. The longer it's been since it's been redesigned. So GTR, great. 370Z, great. And then the newer you get, the worse it is. Other than the Sentra. The Sentra's good.
CEO, and is that person new?
Well, he recently got indicted in France for like fraud charges, and no, it was Japan for like fraud charges and embezzlement and everything like that. So yeah, no, it makes sense.
Why? Android vibes. Let me see. Yeah, says fun fact.
Okay.
The Ioniq 5 has a longer wheelbase than a Tesla Model S and X.
Wow.
But similar overall length to the Model Y, which means plenty of interior space.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. Hyundai's killing it. Speaking of Hyundai, if you guys want to see any of it, I'm going to be going out and driving the new Hyundai Tucson in about a month out in Tucson, Arizona. Nice. So I'll be among the first to drive it. So we're driving the hybrid and the gas car. So any questions you have on that, let me know and I'll get back to them as soon as I drive it.
You also have the Sonata.
Yeah, we've got a Sonata N-Line this week.
So we'll probably do that one
Friday.
Live drive on Friday.
Yep. Yeah, dual clutch automatic.
Yep. Cool. BA says, I really wish the Ioniq would get here sooner. I don't want to miss out on potential federal rebate if that happens for Tesla, but that could be gone by year's end.
Yeah. That's the thing is everyone's goo-gooing and gagaing over this and the RAV4 Prime, but no one's going to care about the Mach E in a year. It's just going to be old news. Seriously, with a range like this and everything, there's going to be so many better cars in a year.
Gotcha. Thepittsburgh Man said the CEO of Nissan had to be smuggled out of Japan in a box. Is that's literally
it's
like...
It's literally true. That's not hyperbole.
That's like a TV show. That's like a ridiculous TV show.
It was like a whole drama thing that went on over the last few years.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah. I guess we should walk around the back. It's not a very tall car.
No. Here.
It's about 5'1". 5 foot, maybe flat. Yeah.
Moran says, and I had a 2007 R63.
Oh, he did!
With 48,000 miles for 4 years, and he sold in December 2017. So he doesn't need another R63.
That was the minivan I was telling you about that Mercedes made like 50 of and
had
like a big
really
V8.
Rare one.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's awesome. Ron, you got the coolest car. I would love an R63. Neat.
Yes.
All right. Oh, that does have metal tie downs. That's nice.
Yeah. They kind of get a little bit tighter.
Yes.
Around their clothes.
This one doesn't even close all the way.
No, it doesn't. No,
oh, they don't? They both don't?
No.
Huh. That's stupid. All right, let's go drive around. We'll do the propulsion sound. Let us know if there's anything else you'd like to see on the Mach E. What's with EVs and always having confusing names?
Mach Y.
The Mach Y, yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like a Mach Y, because I see Mach, it's technically an A, but you can think of like Mach as in like fake, Mach child kind of thing.
Like a Mach.
It's a Mach Y. It's a fake Y.
Funny.
But spell it with an O instead of an A.
Oh, yeah, right. I was gonna, I will say something, and this is just an example of like how I appreciate how Tesla thinks outside the box. I mean, this is definitely a more conventional car, and I think a lot of people appreciate that. But with the Tesla, you can get in and just put it in gear and not have to press the on button. And everyone thinks that's really weird, and it took you a few weeks getting used to it.
Yeah.
But now that you are used to it, doesn't it just make more sense?
It does. Yeah. I'm kind of losing my fear of, did I leave the car on? Is it locked when I walk away from it, when I'm like doing errands and out in public and stuff?
Yeah.
So yeah, right now it makes more sense. It did take me a minute to get used to that, but it feels freeing at the same time. And
this, you can use your phone as a key. I mean, a lot more cars are doing that now, but you still have to get in and press the on button and then shift it. And I've gotten in it a few times and tried to drive away while just like turning the thing.
I did that the other day.
Right, and you're like, why it's not turning?
We were actually leaving to do our fuel economy test for the two cars, and Charlie was pulled out of the driveway and starting to drive away, and I panically got out of the car and was like, I can't, it won't move. I put it in drive. Why is it not working? And he's like, do you have it on? I didn't say anything. I just got back in the car and turned it on.
Yep. Yeah, it's something that, I mean, to someone who just drives a gas car, it makes total sense. But when you get used to just driving an electric vehicle, then why do you need to turn it on? You can just put it in gear.
Yeah.
So, take this.
Okay.
So we'll go around this way. We'll do a little like a 0 to 60 launch, and we'll also get on the highway and show off the active lane keeping assist.
Cool. Excuse me.
So I'm gonna put it into unbridled mode right now. That's like sport mode. And then I'm going to turn on propulsion sound.
This is for the engine sound?
Yeah, and we'll try to be really quiet. Hopefully you guys can hear it. We'll find a quieter road too. Maybe you can hear it then. Oh, it didn't turn on. There we go.
It turned off. Oh, it turns off.
What the heck?
It turns off! Why?
Ford, what?
What? 1, 2. It turns off after 2 seconds. Like, is it different drive modes? Oops, sorry.
No.
What? Okay, what about engaged? Off. Wow.
This is what I mean about we've been having like just weird,
wonky things happen.
Yeah, and everyone likes to give Tesla crap about like build quality issues and stuff, but we've had a lot more issues with this Ford.
Right.
Charging issues and just weird things like this. Weird sounds that it'll make. One time, was it you that I was driving with, or was it Chris that like it was just giving us like a warning bong?
That was Chris, must be.
It must have been Chris. We were just kind of driving on like the track or something, and it was like, it was doing like a doo-doo-doo like warning sound, but it wasn't showing us anything on the screen. Anyway, let's try putting it in park and then, can we turn it on? Nope.
Nope.
Yes, let's restart the car.
Wow. You guys are seeing this, right? Okay.
Also, it makes a stupid sound when you start it and turn it on.
I was just thinking that it was cool.
I think it's stupid.
Alright.
Wow. So, I guess you guys don't get to see the propulsion sound.
Hear the propulsion sound.
Or here, yeah.
Who was it that was asking about that? It was Yas. Sorry, Yas.
Man.
That's weird. Or maybe Moran can look up why it's doing that at the moment.
Right.
Why is it not letting us put on the fake engine sound?
I mean, I've turned it on before. Definitely used it.
Huh.
So, Hashtag Ford problems.
Yeah, B&A says the unbridled mode should work, and they were wondering what mode we were in. That's why I wanted to try the other two modes, see if it mattered. And then,
I mean, we're definitely in unbridled mode. I've got the heavy steering. It's nice and snappy.
Right,
and everything,
unbridled is highlighted here.
Yeah, it's just
when the others are
not working.
So we have that one. This one is engaged. But shouldn't have used that word because they're gonna think it's
not unbridled.
Yeah.
I can't tell if I like the whole unbridled, whisper, engaged things, because half of me feels like I appreciate Ford thinking outside of the box and trying to be unique and stuff with their names.
It's a nice tube.
It is a nice one. But on the other hand, I'm like, that's stupid.
The names themselves?
Yeah,
just,
like unbridled. Like,
I think it's a whole Mustang.
Yeah, exactly.
Theme.
So it like fits and it's clever, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, you're so cheeky. Like.
Right. Yeah. I think whisper is just our word.
I'm driving so soft. I'm driving so easy, and it's ASMR Mustang Mach E.
Yeah, I think the names are kind of
cheeky,
lame, corny, lame.
It's just funny because you're the one who likes the sounds it makes when you turn it on and off.
I like that. At first I was like, this is stupid. Why'd you gotta make sounds? Tesla don't make sounds.
Then again, Tesla's the one that you can make it fart every time you turn the turn on.
Yeah. I actually had to honk my horn at someone when I was driving the other day because they didn't realize the light had turned green. And then, so it's a normal horn, but then I think it was only to me where it did.
No, it's outside too.
It was outside? Awesome. But it was a normal horn, but it did like right afterwards, and I loved that.
Yeah, I should change that back to the
The person that was texting in front of me would just get so scared they'd drop their phone. And then promptly it flipped me off.
Yes, good. No, I want to record custom sounds for that so I can tell people to do something to themselves.
Okay.
When you honk the horn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good censoring in that moment.
Thank you.
Not when you honk the horn though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ron said he had the same problem when he was test driving one.
Oh, well.
It's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ford's and their electronics.
Interesting.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. Jake Hardy says Ford problems.
Yep.
Is our audio off? Is that a thing?
As you told Dave.
Nope.
Oh,
I mean,
with issues relating to me as an adult without recasting.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter. And I know it shouldn't matter because I tested it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay, on.
If you have a child, know a child.
Off. Nope. Okay.
We'll do a little 0 to 60. I
Okay.
can tell you that in our testing, we got 5.3 seconds repeatedly with this car, so that's about what we should get now. There we are.
That was really quick.
One thing I've also noticed about this compared to the Tesla driving it around, the Tesla is immediately responsive.
Dear.
Oh dear. Tesla is immediately responsive when you press the gas pedal. It's like instant, like the moment you put the foot down, you get that jerk.
Yeah.
And this, there's a slight delay. And it's super subtle. You wouldn't really notice it unless I told you, but there's like a half a second between when I put the foot down, and let's see, you probably can't even hear it, but can you tell, Liz, that there's like a little bit of between the time you hear my foot hit and the time your head gets pulled back?
Absolutely. There's like half a second. Oh, probably like, what would you say? A quarter of a second?
Quarter to half of a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very subtle, but it's there, and it makes the car not feel quite as snappy. Not only that, but it's a pig, so you gotta pull an extra 1,000 pounds.
It's a pig. Kind of looks like one too.
You're right, it kind of does. Can I get it in pink?
That'd be so bad. Yeah. Jasper Allstrap says Control Delete.
Exactly.
Yeah. B and A says press the info button for that. I said B and A. Sorry, man. B
For your safety, some features have been disabled while your vehicle is in motion. That screen comes up so much in this car, and it drives me up a wall. And I'll show you guys one of the really annoying things about it. Where are we at here?
You need to go up.
No, I want to go here. Phone. I'm going to go to favorites. Now I've got 6 favorites. My dad is down there as number 6. Well, we got to wait till we're moving because it's not going to. No, we're going to be moving here in a second. Alyssa, go ahead and try to scroll down and call Dad.
I can't scroll at all.
Right, exactly.
Ooh.
Go this way. You can't scroll down. This is your favorites. It's supposed to be the super easy menu to like call people, and you can't scroll down
while we're driving.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And another place that the car does that is when you're, if you like to listen to your music on a USB drive, you can't go to different folders on your USB drive while you're driving. So say you're on a road trip, you're on the highway, and you're listening to an artist, and you're like, okay, I'd like to listen to a different artist now. You can't change that while you're driving.
Wow.
You could probably do it by voice. You could say, you know, play so-and-so, but if voice control doesn't pick that up properly, nothing you can do. So I don't see how that's safer. But anyway, let's try changing that drive mode now that we're stopped, or pressing that info thing. Processing sounds generated to enhance the driving experience. Sound level is mode dependent, whisper, engage, or unbridled. That's all it says.
Okay. That's interesting. So you should be able to use it in all of the drive modes.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in whisper, it doesn't really make any sound, but when you're in unbridled, it makes a lot of sound.
Huh.
Yeah.
The Thepittsburgh Man says, but Charlie, for your safety, you can't be driving up a wall.
Ah, because it drives me up the wall. Let's see what hey man, you want a car? I didn't even realize there was a Tim Hortons here. Anyway, we got any other comments? The Model Y?
I guess not.
Okay. I already did it. I know the answer. Nothing else?
No.
Cool. Off about the proposal. Oh, maybe the fact that.
Oh yeah, it's kind of crap here.
It's important. Wow.
That's awesome.
All those 40 people and no one wants to see it. They're gonna be like, "Wow, the stream quality sucks. I'm never watching Daily Motor again."
The Thepittsburgh Man says, shout out to Tim Hortons,
Because he's Canadian. So
yes.
Oh man, you know what? We're going back. This is the nice thing about electric vehicles is if you need to get in front of anyone,
power.
You're gone. Like
Love
this handicapped GMC Terrain that's a whole car length in front of the stop line. We are going to dust him. Oh, she's not even paying attention, not even moving yet. And we are all the way.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yep. Let's get on the highway now that our signal's coming back a little bit.
Can we go to a Charge America thing for this?
There's an EV Go station down the street, but I don't feel like paying the $6 just to start my charging session.
Oh wow, you have to pay just $6 just to start it.
For EV Go, yeah.
Oh yeah, forget that. Oh boy.
It's fairly balanced.
Amazing.
That's for sure.
Amazing. What was your highest speed for that?
We got to 60.
That's amazing.
So we're gonna come up on this corner and I'm going to have the, what do they call it? Lane keeping system enabled and just kind of demonstrate it. So first, it's gonna get really confused right here because it goes, the lane lines are buried.
Oh yeah.
It just tells me that it's canceled.
Jeez.
But right here it picks them up and you can see it's going around the corner. Look, Ma, no hands.
Ha! I can ride my bike.
Drive my Mach E with no hands on the wheel. Until now, when it starts yelling at us. Doom, doom,
Oh, you're
doom,
gonna
doom,
show
doom,
me
doom. I'm gonna let it. It's really upset now. Really upset. And it's stopping the car now.
Is it gonna come to a full stop?
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's really upset. So if I were to be like dead right now, I'm curious if it'll like turn on the flashers.
That is interesting.
You'd think it should, you know?
There's a truck.
Okay.
Is he coming on?
Yeah, he is coming. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
So it does work pretty well though. Alyssa used it a bunch and she found it useful.
Yeah, it's very useful. I like how easy it is. I didn't expect it to be that easy. I think the Tesla with the stock autopilot control thing, whatever, and disengages, there's a little chime. That's annoying.
Yep.
And then try having to switch lanes and it just turns itself off. That's also annoying.
Yep.
But this doesn't do that.
Part of the reason I think Tesla does that, and it's kind of lame, but I also kind of get it, they probably want you to pay for the full self-driving suite.
Yeah.
Because if you paid for that, then you would be able to change lanes without turning off your autopilot. So they're probably like, well, if you don't like that, then just pay us $10,000 and then you can have the full self-driving.
Right.
I think that's dumb.
Right.
But I get it.
Well, you're kind of paying the extra $10,000 anyway if you decide to get the Mach E.
Yeah, that's true.
The Premier trim. So.
Right. Premium.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. Cool.
Yeah, that's true.
So what has your charging experience been so far with the MME?
Home charging is fine. It takes a while because it's an 88 kilowatt hour battery. So it's just a lot of juice to put in there. But for daily driving, totally fine. I mean, pretty much overnight it's always going to be full in the morning. And DC fast charging has been a little frustrating, both getting the systems to work and then communicate with the car properly. Mm-hmm. But when we've needed it to work, it's always worked. It's just been, we've found out that the car has to be off. I don't know if that's intentional, but every time we tried DC fast charging it with the car on, like even just in accessory mode, it would give us a charge fault error and say like, check the owner's manual, service required, everything like that.
Yeah.
Yep. This car feels more like a beta version than our Tesla does. So.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to put it.
Tesla is there now, guys. Like everyone who likes to give Tesla crap for being like, you know, they're just beta, poor build quality, blah blah blah, scrappy. They're not anymore. They really aren't.
They've made it.
Yeah, they've made
it. Arrived.
They've produced a million cars or whatever. They're fine. I said it earlier at the beginning of the video, and I'll say it again. This feels like a better car. The driving experience is more serene. It rides better than the Model Y. It's quieter than the Model Y. It feels more conventional. The Model Y is a better electric vehicle. It's more efficient. It's easier to charge. And the way that it handles electric vehicle-ness, feeling like a futuristic product, feeling like a technology piece, it feels better, more put together, and it's easier to use.
Cool.
So if you someone who prioritizes having a traditional car that just happens to be an electric vehicle, maybe go with the Mach E. If you're someone who wants to be on the leading edge and wants to feel like they're getting a piece of technology that just happens to drive them places, get a Model Y.
Cool. Thepittsburgh Man says, don't need to charge it, just stick a couple new batteries in it.
Double A's. Probably D cells. Just thunk.
Big giant D batteries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give it the D.
BA is asking, when they enable that sensor to watch your face, will that increase the time your hands can be off the wheel?
I hope so. Yeah, for I don't think I've ever told you this, Liz, because I always forget, but there's actually a camera in our Tesla that looks into the cabin. And if we had like the full self-driving, they say that they don't watch people, but it's pretty established that what it's there for is, say you were to be on autopilot and you were to be looking at your phone or in the back seat taking a nap or something, and you were to get in an accident and you would be like, I was driving, I was right there paying attention. They'd be like,
you totally were not. Yeah. I wonder if the Tesla people are collecting data, watching us, and then actually running experiments and trying to find that's distracting me. Lost my train of thought.
Like use cases and stuff, like how people use it.
Yeah, yes, use cases, yeah.
Yeah, they certainly could be.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some documentation we signed at some point in there telling them
we
that.
didn't read.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're not the only brand to use self-facing cameras. I mean, Cadillac has a camera in there, and then Subaru, I think, does as well. But, yeah, that's there.
Gotcha. Okay. Ryan Peterson says, that's interesting to hear about the beta feel.
Yeah.
And BA says, I like your comment about the Tesla community. It's so nice to have others to talk to and ask questions.
I definitely agree with that. And the other thing that's kind of cool, with the Tesla software, Model 3s and Model Ys are all the same, essentially, and even Model S's and Model X's. So, and I'm sure it's going to be the same with Cybertruck and stuff. So, like, you know, if we get a system update and we get a new feature on ours, I can talk to someone who's got, like, a Model 3, and we'd both have the same features, and we'd both be able to talk about that, and it'd work the same. I don't foresee that being the case if Ford, when they come out with their electric F-150, I don't think the software on the Mach E is going to be the same as the F-150 software. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe they'll surprise me.
Or at least similar enough.
Right. But, I mean, Tesla, it's like the same software version.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job, like, setting themselves up for that. Because it takes less work then. They can update all their fleet with just one piece of software.
Thepittsburgh Man says, when you signed it, it gave Elon Musk ownership of the town and country.
No! That's funny.
That is funny. Okay, before we get out.
Yeah. It's a Prius.
Oh, it looked like one. Jake Hardy is asking, what Mach E are you guys currently driving? What's your range? What's your motor configuration, etc.?
This is a 2021 extended range, all-wheel drive, premium. It's 56 grand. And our range has been, I think, like, in mixed driving, 240-ish miles. Highway, we got a maximum range at 70 miles per hour of about 215 miles. The trip computer is not super great, and the reason I say that is there was a situation when we went out and did the highway range test. I reset trip 1, and then it also had the this trip readout, and the trip 1 readout and this trip readout were completely different in terms of miles per kilowatt hour, even though the time and the distance was the same. They said different readouts for where did my energy go, and it said 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour on one and 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour on the other. So that was a little frustrating. You can't track your usage as easily as you can in the Tesla. But I do like this screen that says where did my energy go. Shows you how much your climate's affecting, the route, your accessories, and the exterior temperature. You can also get a little driving score thing, which apparently over the last 1,000 miles has been horrid. But you go to like trip 1, oh, that's pretty horrid too. That probably included our testing maybe. This trip has been quite good actually though. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
But yeah, if you're on the highway, that sort of thing, you're getting less than 3 miles per kilowatt hour, whereas the Tesla will do like 3.5.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a significant difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Any OTA updates yet?
I think there is an update waiting for this car, but we don't own this. This is Ford's car, so we're not going to do updates.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll let them do updates if they want to do that.
Yep. I'll also make a quick comment that the Ford app has more functionality than the Tesla app, but is less easy to use. So it's more just like clunky, not as quick to respond, not as stylistic. But
beta feeling.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
But what you can do, there's two big things that you can do with the Mach E that you can't with the Tesla that just blows my mind you can't do. And anyone who owns a Tesla probably feels my pain. One, schedule your departure times from your app. Like if Alissa wanted to go out to run errands at 10 a.m., at 8 a.m., in this car, she could go and just schedule, like, I am going to be leaving at 10, so have the cabin ready to go at 70 degrees at 10. Done. Tesla, you can't do that from the app. You'd have to go in the car and do it. So why can't you do that from the app? In the Tesla. Secondly, in the navigation in this car, you can set multiple destinations. Oh, yeah, so like, yesterday we set, I want to go to this destination and I want to come home afterward, and the car told us where we need to stop and charge along the way. Can't do that in the Tesla. You can say I want to go there, but you can't say like I want to go there and then here and then there.
Multiple destinations.
Yes.
Can't have that.
No.
In the Tesla.
Yeah, which is just mind-boggling. Get your thoughts up in a bottle.
Right. Gotcha. Marty says the camera is there, so it doesn't have to tell you to check the rear seats for occupants. No, he's making a joke because of our last one. The car was like, I forget what car that was.
I was looking really skeptical, Melissa. I was like trying to think, like, is that true?
I guess the way I was saying it sounded very sarcastic.
Yeah.
Or didn't, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get that. That's funny.
There was that other car that we had, you'll have to remind me, where every time you turn it off and get out and open the door, the screen would blink at you.
Bronco Sport.
The Bronco Sport. The screen would blink at you and say, check the rear seats for occupants.
Wonder why
and it
this
would
car
do that
doesn't
for
do
like
that.
10 seconds.
Probably just a setting we don't have enabled. Anything else?
We are all caught up.
Okay, great. Well, that's going to be about it for us here in the Mach E then. I'm actually going to go out and film some more videos with it. Try to get that in before sundown.
Yep.
And let's hop out and wrap this thing.
Cool.
So thank y'all so much for coming along with us. This was a fun one. It's a fun car to have around. It's really neat. I know that I've got my complaints with it, but I've got my complaints with any car. So I think Ford did a really good job. It's not quite as much of a thumbs up for me as the Bronco Sport was. I think Ford did an awesome job with the Bronco Sport.
Half thumbs up?
Yeah, this is like a half thumbs up. I think they did a really good job. I just don't think it's going to be that competitive in the overall EV marketplace for another year or so. But we'll see what happens when we drive an Ioniq 5.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
That'll be really neat. So thank you all so much for watching. We will be back on Friday at 4 p.m. with the Hyundai Sonata N-Line. That'll be a fun one to zoom around with. Anything else? Last comments or anything?
People saying bye.
Okay.
Bye, Ryan. Bye, Pittsburgh Man. He says, what's the schedule for Friday?
Yeah.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. Sonata N-Line.
Yep.
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 All
Ryan
good?
says you guys are awesome.
Aw,
That's
thanks.
so sweet. Thanks.
Cool. And we'll see you on the next one. We're Charlie and Ellis from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.